same thing last time. Let's see. I'm gonna hit the fucking play button. Oh shit! Oh goddamn! It's a Samsung ad.
Is that a good thing?
No, I hate ads. I'm not getting paid for this shit. Fuck you, Twitch. Stop my shit. Shut my shit down. As I say, as I'm breaking the rules. I'm not breaking the rules.
Mustang, did I get an invite?
Oh, dude, yeah, I need an invite too.
Oh, wait. Because, right, Dylan's the
Okay.
one blocking his time.
It's a very short delay. All right, Cody, go ahead. Sound off.
Hello.
Okay. Who's next on the list? Keaton?
Hello.
James, go again.
Hello.
Keaton, say something. Keaton, we can't hear you. Mm-hmm.
Did you change your settings?
It gets reset all the time.
Hut 1, Hut 2, Hut 3, Hut, Hut.
It's in the party
Just go to
settings, I
chat.
think.
Yeah. Party settings, and it'll say, what's it say? Allow your voice to be shared.
Immediately, I can tell Richard already that you need to either be louder or you need to turn your mic up.
Fine, I'll talk louder like a normal person. Fucking voice has been weird today.
There we go. It's on.
Hut 1, Hut 2, Hut 3, Hut, Hut. How's that sound?
All right, you guys are all here. Everybody, please speak loud and clear. And cool. So, anybody watching? I think there's one person watching. This is welcome to the technically the 0 episode of the Wholesome Hoodlum live Gamecast. We're doing a live podcast. It's about video games. We're going to talk. We got a bunch of hosts here, a bunch of people that I play with on the reg. And, I didn't do the thing. I didn't do Chaboy. Chaboy Raul.
Chaboy.
That's what I do whenever we're doing a live stream. Yeah, it's already ruined, right?
So smooth.
Anyway, shut up, James.
Okay.
Funky peanut butter.
We got a bunch of people here. Are any of you guys also streaming? We got a lot of shit to talk about.
I'm gonna start, cause why not?
Cool. Well,
Same.
if you want to let everybody know who's listening, where they can find your stuff before we start, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then if you got a streaming channel, let everybody else know where it is, and then we'll go from there. And then, fucking James, can I get that goddamn invite? 'Cause
Oh, yeah. I got you.
did you get me already?
No, I'm going right now.
Got it.
Could
All
I
right,
also
Cody,
do
go
that?
first.
Alright, my Twitch handle is C.
And
Yeah.
cool.
That's-
Your name
that's all I
is?
got.
What's your name? So people know who your voice, what voice this is.
Cody.
Cody. Okay, thank you. Next, there's James. James's name is James, and I don't know what else. James, tell everybody where they can find your shit and a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, I'm James. I used to be in this world of the internet for a brief period of time, but you could find me now on Twitch as Constant Thinker, no spaces. I'm a variety streamer, I guess you would call it.
Cool.
And that's pretty much it.
Nice. Keaton. Oh, the hostage is dead.
I love it. On the ball.
Keaton, what am I waiting for? What am I waiting for?
Me. All right, what's up, everybody? My name is Keaton. I have Twitch also. I am also
Your mic's popping a
as
little
well.
bit. You're kind of getting too loud for it, I think.
I can't. I'm just a popping kind of guy, man.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Because that's how podcasts work. Yeah, you got a fucking Twitch stream, right? Everybody's got a Twitch stream.
Anakai, Darthanaki. I know it's a word. Well, yeah.
Don't know if I have I guess if you're watching this on YouTube, which I guess some people eventually will be, there'll probably be links in the description. I mean, I guess that's gonna be work for me, but yeah, I will fucking supply links for the description.
You have to listen to the first 5 minutes of the damn podcast just to write down some fucking URLs.
I could just ask them for them. Anyway, so the shit talker here is Richard. Richard, say hello. You've been on the podcast before.
What's up, everybody? I'm definitely the shit talker here. I don't stream or have a Twitch or anything, but I mean, if you want to find something of mine, just like every Wholesome Hoodlum podcast, I'm gonna plug this shit.
Wait, hold on. Can I get a invite again, James? I'm in limbo. There's nobody here.
Oh shit, Richard.
Yeah, he's a creative person. Let him plug his creative outlet.
And I applaud him.
Let's not sell this shit a little too high. All right, it's still trash.
Okay. Well, what is it so we can get to the show, please?
You can find me at Soda Richard that's full capital Soda dash capital R Richard on fanfiction.net because all I do is write bullshit and probably any other writing site if I get around to it. But
cool. Probably if you ever do it. Nice. Well, I guess for posterity's sake, right? If somebody goes back to watch, like this becomes huge, and somebody goes back to watch the very first episodes. So yeah, and then there's also Dylan. Dylan is currently walking his dog. Life things. He's in the party right now, but he can't be heard because he's not here. We'll introduce him when he pops back in. So, the first thing I wanted to talk about is just tech stuff. We got some personal users of the new Astro controller for the PlayStation 4, right?
That is correct.
And you guys really like it. My only criticism of it, I'm just gonna put this out there, is that I think it's ugly and it's too fucking expensive. And I think I would feel differently about it if it were less ugly, but because it's so ugly, I'm like, it's too costly. But you guys say that it's good despite that. So tell me about it.
I also think it's ugly.
Thank you.
All right, James, do you want to start?
That's up to you, man.
Okay,
All right,
no,
I
it's
guess
not.
You take the reins. You take the reins.
If he says, "Do you want to start?" it becomes up to you, James.
All right, I will take the reins on this. All right,
do.
C40s. So you've got some pretty different features to it. You've got the under triggers that you can program. You can set it to two completely different button loadouts too. So you can switch it. So let's say you're playing different games. So Division versus, like Rainbow Six. If you need to change buttons around, because obviously Division doesn't have a crouch button, but Siege does, and it's kind of crucial. So you can do that. Or let's say you are playing a battle royale and you want a sniper mode and you want a run and gun mode. Same concept. You can switch that. It's literally just you flip it. It's right next to the L1 button. Super easy. And then also, one of my personal favorite things on here, besides the ability to move around the thumbsticks to offset or side by side, is the trigger stops. Really like these trigger stops because it only have to pull it a fraction of the way
I like to
in order for it to start working. So, for example,
Hold on, Keaton. Try not to talk over each other. When this video gets compressed, the audio is going to go down in quality, and some of this shit is going to be inaudible. Keaton, what were you saying?
I was going to say, I'd like to challenge compared to my Scuff Impact.
You're about to what now with
Like
your
the hair
Scuff
triggers-
Impact?
The hair triggers on my Scuff, like, it's a little thing that you kind of rotate. You can rotate it to, like, put it towards the bottom so it makes a hair trigger, or you can fucking rotate it back towards the top and it changes it to normal. But, like, they're not a fraction. I mean, it's kind of like half of a normal trigger pull.
yeah, this is about a quarter.
That's cool. See,
That's pretty impressive.
Our
Cody, I'm
battlefield is
reviving
really
you.
Just a button
Thank you.
press.
I'm trying to. Oh, there we go. can't do it while reloading. Good to know.
So
Okay, so yeah,
that's
sorry, Cody, continue. You
definitely-
like the trigger stop. So we were playing Rainbow Six with it, and that was like what I was when I saw the ad for the game or for the controller. Sorry, the trigger stops is what jumped out at me the most. Because I immediately was like, "Ugh, that thing's ugly. I don't want that." But then I saw that, and I was like, "Ooh, Rainbow Six game, yes." How did it work last night?
Definitely a lot different.
You were racking them up last night. I mean, you're always
I
racking them up,
was.
but
I typically tap versus hold for my triggers, but in general, I was using the under left button for my crouch and the right for my reload, and so I was using the left one a
Ooh, I
lot
like that.
for when I'm when I'm peeking. I can constantly keep going from crouch to stand, crouch stand, as I'm going out to peek, and it makes it a lot easier. Obviously, you can pre-fire to kind of do that as well, but I mean, if you're doing both of those, then you're going to be a lot harder to kill. So that seemed to be working.
Right. They're changing that. Well, we're gonna go over that in Siege Watch, which is the segment at the end of the show. But it's cool. So you liked it. You are
Yes.
and you think 100% worth the $200?
Honestly, wasn't too bad. I think especially given how often I go through controllers, spending $60 to $70 every couple of months.
Yeah, that's actually a good
Instead-
question. Sorry,
Instead,
cut you off.
they're making replacement parts for $20. So
That's
that
not bad.
to me seems like it's a lot more worth it in the long run than to simply buy a controller every couple months.
Cool. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, and that actually brings up an interesting question. Everybody else, we're just going to do a quick go-around. How often do you guys buy new controllers?
I
Well,
go
I
through
guess-
about every 6 months.
Like,
Every 6 months for Richard.
every 1.5 to 2 years, probably.
Okay. Yours are
Depending on
probably
how often I drop it.
yours are probably wrecked by that. Well, you get nice ones. I'm talking about like if you just get the normal, whatever the fuck controller.
This is the only time
Little
I've ever
shock.
gotten a nice one. I've probably, since the PS4 come out, I've probably went through about 4 or 5 DualShocks. That's only because I drop them, like it'll throw the joystick off to where it like just starts turning by itself really slowly, and you can't really fix it.
Yeah, I know. I that's usually when I decide to buy one. It takes about a year for me.
Yeah. But
By the way, I'm back,
to 2
but
years.
I'm on my second controller since I've owned my PS4.
Cool. All right. Well, wait. Dylan, you're on your second
Yes.
controller, but introduce yourself real quick so everybody knows who you are.
My name is Stingray. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm Dylan, and I don't know what else to say besides I live in California.
Cool. Well, you're also one of the
California.
hosts of the
Everybody
Wholesome
plugs
Looking
their Twitch
Gamecast.
streams,
Live
or
game
what
stuff.
have you.
So yeah, everybody else plugged their Twitch stream. You got a Twitch stream? Why do I look so orange?
No.
I don't know.
Okay. Don't worry about it. It's not that important. Just trying to give
Wanna plug
everybody the
Instagram, maybe
opportunity.
get
Yeah, Instagram, anything?
2 likes.
Instagram is at oldirtydurlin. OL_dirty_Durlin.
Okay. So, you said you've gone through 2 since you've gotten the PlayStation. When did you get your PlayStation? Was it like right when it came out?
Like 4 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so
you're
I
really
yeah,
good with
I
them.
don't-
You're gentle
I
with your
don't really
controllers.
go through. I'm gentle.
I also don't play that often.
I mean, I don't play like I mean, I play every day, but I don't play 9 hours a day. So
Right.
I won't really.
Not like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Like some of us that play upwards in like the double digits every day.
Sometimes. It do be like that sometimes.
Oh no,
Anyway.
that's like most of the
Can I
time.
do that?
Most times. Yeah, I think we're at real risk of like blood clots, you guys. We gotta do something about that. Can somebody kill this guy in front of me too? All right, and Richard, how many controllers did you go through, or how often do you buy a new controller?
Like I said, every 6 months usually.
Every 6 months.
It's
Right.
usually
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually just trigger drift or
James,
something. I'll pull the trigger and.
did you answer that one? James.
I have not answered it, but
Okay, yeah, sorry.
I guess I am one of the lucky ones. I only buy DualShocks, I guess, and it's about every 2 years.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And that's
Okay.
if that. But then again, I do mod my controllers myself.
All right.
And you can also repair your own controllers, so...
Yeah, but okay, I repair them every 2 years.
Okay, so you have like the tools to do that.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. And the know-how.
Yes.
Can I get an
Well,
invite?
I've taken apart a controller
Oh.
before and fucked it up royally because the spring at the trigger fell out and I wasn't able to place it back in as I was fucking closing it, and it was just like, this
Yeah.
is completely ruined now because of this tiny little piece of metal. So it does take a little bit of know-how.
When I first got my stuff, I actually broke the trigger. I fixed it myself.
You tried to fix it yourself, or you did fix it yourself?
No, I did.
Oh, nice.
It's weird. There's this little pin that goes through the side.
Hey,
You can
Keaton.
see it, and I thought it was. Is it too close? Too loud?
I don't know what's going on, but your microphone just keeps doing that, like it just keeps exploding at the end of every one of your sentences.
Really?
Yeah.
I think he just kind of gets louder at the end of his sentences.
I mean, it might be
Can
that,
I
but
get
it's
an
like
invite?
it's a real, it's a real bad.
We're actually in a
situation.
full group, Dylan.
Oh, fuck me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
so moving forward, because I didn't get to you yet, James, about your opinion of the controller. How do you like it? What are your pluses and minuses about it? What do you think?
Well, I mean, pretty much everything Cody said, to be honest. My biggest thing with it is, what is my biggest thing with it?
You mainly got it for Devil May Cry.
Well, yeah, I got it for Devil May Cry so I could button map the 2 paddles on the back, which I haven't figured out a good way to do that yet on that game, but it's okay. But all in all, I do like the fact that it has replaceable parts, and if a thumbstick goes out or whatnot, you could just buy that thumbstick to replace it. And then also, you can move around the thumbstick and directional buttons.
To be
however
more
you
like
want.
the Xbox, right? To be offset
Yeah.
instead of, what's the word I'm looking for? Symmetrical.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna do
It's
replaceable parts.
extremely
The fuck was that?
My bad.
it's extremely easy to take the controller like apart to swap them out, because it's simply just like there's nothing that really needs to click, or you don't have to worry about taking it apart. Nothing's gonna fall out. It's literally those like 3 pieces that you can move around.
Right.
You don't have to worry about springs or
Screws or anything like that, right?
Yeah, it's simply you take off the faceplate, you move it to where you want it. You don't even have to like untwist it or anything like that. It's just you pick it up, you set it up in the position you want it, and you just drop it in place.
Yeah, I remember in the ad had a pretty good like 3D breakdown of how it worked, and it looked like it was very smooth. So I got a little funny story related to the controller. I'm hearing a bit of my own voice. I gotta be a little quieter, but I got a funny story related to this controller. A decade and a half ago, probably, I bought a controller from Mad Catz. And it essentially did the exact same things that that one does, except for the trigger stop stuff. But I could, like with a twist, oh shit, move the. Sorry, hold up. Oh, I forgot. I thought I had my shield out. I could, with a twist, move the directional pads, the button pad, and both of the sticks, and like pick them up and put them in different parts of the controller. It was really neat for a Mad Catz controller, because everybody remembers how shitty they were. But it's funny to me that like here we are like 15 years later, and somebody like high brow picked up that idea and used it for a product. But it's cool to hear that it's working out. I still just can't justify $200 for something so ugly. In
I
my
will agree,
opinion.
that price is pretty steep. But going, comparing to all the other, I guess, elite controllers, it's about the same price.
I feel like the Razer
it is
and the
cheap for a controller.
Nacon controllers are both cheaper, but they're also like widely considered to be like mediocre, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I'm not going
Like,
to
you've got
spend
this-
premium prices for somebody that won't fulfill a warranty.
you've got this, you've got the Scuff, and the Xbox Elite controller. Those are like the only ones that are really like up to snuff right now.
Right.
And the Scuff
Right.
is questionable.
I
At
hear
that point.
that they don't. They also won't fulfill a fucking warranty.
Yeah, that's
That's an egregious
oh yeah,
sin in my
probably an important part to this. I work at GameStop.
mind. Right.
But the first day that they came out, I sold all 5 of them, and within 2 weeks, 4 of them came back as defective,
Mm-hmm.
which doesn't bode well.
I mean, it doesn't
I
mean
mean-
that they're all like that. It's just that you got a bad batch, probably. But I also hear that same exact
But
thing.
the sample size, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I've heard that from a lot of people, but I also have people that like swear by that controller. But to me, I don't see too many like differences between getting that or like a mod pack,
Right. Which
for a
is
controller for
vastly cheaper.
$50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for the tech. I want to bitch about the PlayStation camera just because it sucks so bad, but that's really it. It fucking sucks, and I wish that we had other options. Really, if you're going to be streaming,
Ask
it's
what parts that they had to replace on the C40.
kind of terrible. I mean,
That
I
kinda,
think
changes
that's
that whole price point.
yeah, it does. That's a good point, Richard. Sorry, I didn't ask if you guys had anything to say or ask about it.
I was
Holy
trying to
shit!
chime in. That was,
Holy shit! Holy shit! I'm getting killed. I'm gonna
Oh,
get
but
killed.
like, do we know what parts are there that for actually like to replace on it? Is it like everything, or is it just like some of the modular pieces?
They
If it's just
haven't
modular, that's
like
fine,
they
but,
haven't put it
normally
out yet.
what
It's
happens-
supposed to come out at the end of this month, just because the
Mm.
controller just got released. But
They're
they
assuming
said
it's not gonna break all
that
the
you
way.
should be able to get like a full accessory pack for $20, kind of like how the Scuff has.
Huh. Well, I don't know shit about the Scuff, just because when I first saw it, I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't need that.
Yeah, the price is what fucked it up. Oh, okay.
So, if you can elongate that whole thing over the lifetime of also
The
with
console,
the console,
yeah.
that'd be kind of nice. Not gonna lie.
And the other really nice thing about it is you can use it on PC.
Yeah, that was another thing I was hoping for. But I
Yeah,
remember that
it's-
just from it, in
it's-
general.
A wireless connected through through a little USB
If I was
flash
gonna use a
drive.
controller on PC, I don't want to sound like an asshole. I only have a PlayStation, but I would probably use a mouse and keyboard for anything that controller was really. Or a driving game, yeah, I'll probably use that controller.
There we go. So I figured
I
out.
feel like
This is a side note, but I figured out how to fix that graphical glitch from the Twitch UI just now, because it happened again. So I was worried that we had actually gotten stopped, but we're still going. We're fine. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, I feel like, especially in terms of like using it for a fighting game, like with Mortal Kombat next month, I feel like it would be extremely beneficial to use, and I guess we will have to wait to find out for that one. But
Depends on how you map your buttons, what you need to do.
I mean, I'm excited for Mortal Kombat.
Because that really
regardless.
just comes down to a user experience. The only way I could say it like is gonna be a blanket experience like for everybody would still be a shooter, because then you have to take your fingers off the sticks to hit certain buttons.
Yeah, the reload
So
on the
all
back
this
of the
is
button
added.
or the back of the controller thing actually really just like appealed to me for some reason.
That and crouching, especially since Rainbow Six dedicates that to circle.
Right. Okay, so
Yeah.
are we comfortable moving forward? I think the controllers and the tech stuff is more or less done. I'd say that the general
I'm a
consensus
bit
here.
more excited about it. So, but I mean,
But it's $200 bucks.
I can't add anything. I know, but I mean, like, if I really got that money to throw away, like, there's no game coming out, I might do it.
Yeah, there's always a game coming out.
I waste
though.
money on mobile games, but $200 for a controller, it's not too bad.
You are one of
My whole
those
thing-
people.
my whole thing about it was because I had just gotten the A40 headset as well, so I wanted to get
sorry.
the highest, I guess, tier to kind of see if it does make a difference. especially headsets, they definitely do.
What's the
Controller,
Sorry.
I'm still kind of, feeling it out. Obviously, I've only gotten to play with it for maybe about, I'd say 6 hours. So, yeah, I guess wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be, it will go on sale as time goes on, and you will be able to catch it at a probably good price eventually. I got you, Cody. Black Friday, after Christmas, that type of shit. It'll be available. It's just, right now it's full price, and full price is $200.
Shit, a
James,
back to school sale, son.
yeah, that's not a bad one either, right? For a college student or some shit. James, do you have anything to add about the controller? You've been kind of quiet about it. You're the only other person that owns one, so.
Well, I always like giving it a month before I give a final verdict. I think it's limited, since I'm not comparing it to the Scuff because the Scuff's quality is questionable at best, so I'll compare it to the Xbox One Elite controller. Compared to the Xbox One Elite controller, it is fairly limited since you only have 2 paddles instead of 4 paddles. Which, I mean, makes a real big difference. Like, one of the biggest games I used the Xbox Elite controller with was Gears of War. Now, I had 2 of the paddles on the back mapped for just getting into cover and stuff like that without having to leave the joysticks, so you could shoot while you're getting in cover. But all in all, it feels solid. It doesn't have that hollow sound of the DualShocks or even the Xbox Elite controller. But
thank you.
I'll have a better opinion on it in about a month.
Cool. Well, I look forward to hearing from you guys both about it in the future. So let's talk about Let's talk about games. There's 2 games in particular that I want to kind of like highlight. And this would have made more sense if we had actually gone on last week like I had planned, but something happened and I couldn't be here for that. So, firstly, I wanted to talk about Anthem, and obviously I want to talk about The Division because that's what we're playing right now. So, like I said, it would have worked better last week because last week Anthem was like right at the beginning of Meltdown, and now we're like on full-blown fucking catastrophe with the community, and which I guess happens to every game like this. But Anthem was just like Anthem has been the internet's whipping boy since day one.
Hey, everybody! Side note: stack up on me. I have a key.
Cool.
Oh, never mind.
Nice. Let's give some quick opinions of Anthem. We've all played it, I think. Or no, except for James and Dylan. So this will be shorter. Okay, so but did you play the final version?
Yeah, I have it sitting like a foot in front of me.
Okay. So with the exception of
just break the disc.
with the exception of Dylan, every one of us has played it. So can we give like quick first impressions and then just how we feel about it right now as a game? Like if you remember your first impressions.
Yeah. I guess we'll go in order?
Yeah. However, just
right.
one by one.
Obviously from playing the beta, everyone complained about load time and then just, the app closing out on you.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, that's a beta. Other than that, it was quite fun and addicting, but there wasn't a whole lot to do. And then, playing the game was fun. Definitely had a change in perspective with the different gear that you were able to use once you fully unlocked everything.
Right.
And the different javelins, especially later in game in terms of level. But I felt like it got a little too repetitive, a little too quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And it was too shallow of a game, I think. I think, maybe a year or 2 from now it'll be a fantastic game, kind of like how Destiny 1 was, but as for now
I'm
it's
not gonna say fantastic. Let's go.
and graphically speaking it was a beautiful game, but story was mediocre at best.
Yeah.
I wasn't very invested in it, and then guns, they all seemed a little too similar.
Yeah, that's a big one. I'll agree
there
with.
wasn't any drastic difference, but it was okay. Worth $60? Maybe not so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say 40, unless you're gonna pick up Division, then no.
Don't buy it at all.
Yeah. Don't buy it. Maybe wait till it's like 15, 20 bucks, but once Division came out, I haven't touched Anthem since.
Yeah. If I could actually just jump in first, because I think I just want to get this off my chest. I liked Anthem a lot. I wanted to like it. I spent $80 on it, and because I believed in the gameplay formula that I had seen, because it was very similar to how Mass Effect multiplayer worked, and I liked that a lot too. At first, I was kind of right there with you. I liked it. Gameplay wasn't bad. Felt pretty good. You know, the loading times and all the beta stuff had more or less been worked out, and you know, it was cool. And then the guns thing kind of came up, and I was like, yeah, all the guns are very samey. And then, you know, there were some glitches in like the way some equipment like applies. Like then there were technical problems that started to pop up. And once I started to see more of those, my opinion of the game changed, because they didn't fix them fast enough, or every time that they tried to, they broke something else. And then the actual problem with the end game became more apparent to me. Like, on the positive side, a lot of the game changes drastically when you get some of the end game equipment for a moment. And then once you have all of that and you're looking for the next tier, well, good luck doing that, because it takes forever. And, like, an extremely long time. So, yeah, ultimately I'm not playing it anymore because of the Division also. But I really wish it could be better. I don't necessarily know if I agree with what you said, though. Holy shit. I don't know if I agree with what you said, though, about in a year it'll be better. Because I feel like some of the stuff that's broken with Anthem feels broken down to, like, its bones.
Yeah.
But, that's my
I think
opinion.
it's gonna be a repeat of Destiny, where 1 was okay, but not fantastic, especially once they fixed it. And then 2 was obviously better. I guess you could say the same thing about Division as well.
Right,
It's
and that's
like-
what I said.
I
It
gotta
happens to
cut
all
in
these
here.
games. Yeah?
I have to cut in
like
here.
Destiny.
Destiny 2 was definitely not better than Destiny 1.
Thank you. I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Well, not better than Destiny 1 in its
Destiny 2
final
at launch
state.
was better than Destiny 1 at launch.
Yes, that is true.
Yes, that is true.
But not
But
better
the
than
problem
Destiny
is
at
the
its final
transfer,
state.
once again, from one game to the sequel, they still did a lot of backtracking, and
They did a lot of
got some
backtracking.
super
Right.
easily added, which, like, I guess has happened in Division 2, but if that happens to Anthem, like, they're fucked.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they're
don't
going to
know
get
where
another
they're
chance, honestly. It seems like
Right, but I don't know
everybody's...
where they could even go from here, because the whole world just feels uninspired with how dry they left it.
I mean, it's definitely not what you're used to when you play a BioWare game, I'll say that. But, I mean, that's all I have to say about Anthem. You guys, go ahead.
Well, I only had about maybe 6 to 8 hours of Anthem.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I played it, the combat and how it moved was nice. I liked it. Although no gun ever did anything to the enemies. They were bullet sponges in that sense, / the weapons were uninspired, and there was just no damage. They all look very similar with one another,
Yeah.
especially the assault rifles and the shotguns. And all in all, it just wasn't a game that hooked me, which is why, I mean, it's just been sitting in the box since, like, what, 2-3 days after it launched?
Yeah, I didn't know you had it at launch.
Yeah. I played with you maybe, like, once. I got the ninja dude, and he was fun with his melee. But the thing that I did not like at all with Anthem was that they pushed the combo system and your abilities and all that stuff, and which is cool. It's totally fine. But sometimes I just want to load up a mission and run in with my gun and take out the smaller enemies, and then have to chain those combos for bigger enemies and what. But I mean, all in all, it was a beautiful game, but I imagine that it would get shallow in the future just because they had that one jungle-themed area. in
Yeah, the whole
underground
planet
and
kind of
stuff
looks the
like that.
same. That is
Yeah.
another thing.
And being that it's BioWare, in my opinion, that was kind of their last shot, especially after Mass Effect. It started with Mass Effect ending in number 3. This was, you know,
Yeah, that was a bit of an atrocious
almost like a cry
garbage
for
fire.
help. Yeah, and then Andromeda came out, and that was just that was an insult to the
Game of
people
the
that
year.
bought that on launch. and I feel like this was their last attempt. And although they made it beautiful, they didn't make it hook me.
I mean, a lot of people are saying that, and don't necessarily. I think it's definitely their last attempt for a lot of people like us that are really expecting a high quality game. But the truth of the matter is that a lot of people bought Anthem, and EA looks at it like that, right? Like, fuck it, they bought the game, we got their $60. It might still technically be a success based on just numbers alone, which might keep the fucking like half alive necromancy corpse of whatever the fuck is left at BioWare alive just that much longer. But that is not BioWare that any of us grew up on.
Right. But even though they're reading numbers for sales and whatnot, it undershot their predictions. And what main streamers did buy the game and tried promoting the game because they genuinely liked the game, with some of the patches that came out, sometimes the loot was broken, such as the most recent patch again.
Right.
But when that patch went out, people started milking it. And even the streamers did. And BioWare/EA went on to, I guess, commit quality control, and they actually had these streamers given a strike on their Twitch accounts and banned them from streaming Anthem. So they kind of shot themselves in the foot there.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't understand why anybody thinks that works. Like, just by virtue of the fact that Reddit and Twitter exist, as soon as you ban somebody or get somebody copyright struck because of bullshit reasons, it's going to be everywhere. And companies are still doing it. It's kind of insane. Video game companies, music companies, and movie companies do it all the time. And it's insane the number of times that content creators have to like go to bat just for fair use shit. It's ridiculous. Also, the texture right now on the floor is not loaded in for me. So let's move on to The Division. Unless, Keaton, I don't think we've heard much from you. Unless you got anything to say about Anthem. But
it's pretty much an agreement. I mean, for the first 3 days, I couldn't even customize my javelin. Like, I know the game's broken. And I still have fun with it. I'm actually playing it right now because we were talking about it. I never got to max. I didn't finish everything, so I don't really feel like I'm out of shit to do.
Right. You still have lots of stuff like awaiting you in terms of gear.
Yeah, I'm BioWare. I don't know if I love the people that work at BioWare nowadays, but I love them as a company. They probably made two of my favorite games ever, which is Jade Empire and
KOTOR.
Republic 1. So I mean, I want to love what they do, but like, I rarely played in Inquisition. I rarely played in Andromeda. So I kind of wanted to give this one a chance.
Why is your mic all fucked up? Are you downloading something?
No, I'm not downloading anything.
It just sounds like you're talking to me on a payphone from the 1990s.
Captain Marvel's in, right?
It sounds nostalgic.
Oh my god, don't get him
Don't
started
get me
on
started on Captain Marvel. I mean, if you want to talk about it at the end, we can do that. I think that's it for Anthem, right? Can we go on to The Division?
I want to go off, but no, it's fine.
What did you say?
Let's move on
What'd you say,
to
Richard?
a good game.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, let's just move on, because I know for a fact from having Richard on my actual podcast that if I let him go on for too long, we'll be here forever. So, Division. Dylan, we haven't heard anything from you because you didn't play any Anthem. What do you think of The Division? Did you play the first one?
Yeah, so the first one was good, but I kind of got a little tired of it, not gonna lie. Sorry, I'm in a gnarly match of a Siege right now.
Okay.
But basically, like, I really like it. The first one wasn't my favorite. I kind of just got tired of it. But the second one is, man, I watched Cody play the beta, and I wasn't really impressed. I was like, man, this is going to be the same type of shit, you know?
Yeah.
But it ended up actually being really good. I'm really having a good time with it. I wish you guys weren't in a full party. Like, the graphics are really good, and it's a little challenging on, like, just playing by yourself. And I'm not going to lie, it gets a little boring when you're playing by yourself, but...
it's kind of brutally hard on you. I think it's brutally hard
Yeah.
when you're playing on your own. It's just like, I don't want to do this without
super hard.
teammates.
Yeah, it's a little it's a little hard when you're just by yourself, but as a team, it's super good. I haven't gotten into the Dark Zone yet, but I really would like to, preferably with a full party. But I would probably give it like 9 out of 10 for sure.
All right.
There's a couple of glitches though that I don't really know.
Oh yeah,
Don't
yeah,
really
we
know
can
how
go
that's
over
gonna work
those.
out.
I mean, that's given with any game at launch, though.
Right.
I mean, but at this
At
point,
least-
it's almost been a full month, hasn't it?
The only thing is that
No,
so
it
I
came out
have-
on the 15th.
Okay.
I
Go
have
ahead.
this reactivate the Shade SHD network.
Oh, you
or
still
whatever,
have that?
and- yeah, and so basically I looked it up, like, what's the fix to it? And basically Ubisoft said they are actively looking for players who know how to fix the bug. So basically they don't know what the
Holy
fuck they're doing.
shit!
But other than that, yeah, it's a great game.
Anybody want to jump off? Want to springboard from that onto more of their Division?
I
opinions?
will.
Go ahead.
Did you guys play the first one?
Yeah, yeah, extensively
All right.
actually.
Do you remember being in a line to register your agent? Because you could not pass through characters, and it was one person at a time on the computer to register an agent.
I remember the memes about that, but I never had to do that because I got the game I think
Oh.
the very first day, and so like right at like midnight launch or whatever, if you got in at the very beginning, it didn't become a problem.
Yeah, I got it the first night, and I mean my line wasn't like
Oh shit.
30 plus people. Mine was probably about 12, but even so,
I did see that
I
line
had-
though. I had like 2 people at any given time, like 2 people.
I had quite a few people trying to do it, as well as run into that same issue.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this one they don't start it off
So
that
yeah,
way,
none of that.
which is definitely an improvement.
Yeah, I would say so. It's interesting. I hadn't even thought about. Honestly, like as much as I like Division 2, I haven't thought about Division 1 since for a long time. Honestly, I'm just kind of like, oh, cool. Division 2's much better. Go on, Cody. Sorry, I'm just vamping.
You're all right. I would say definitely they made it a lot more, I guess, balanced in terms of player combat because of, everyone having the same attachments. It basically just threw away the whole looting of attachment system, and instead now everyone can craft the same attachments. You just have to do a mission to get the blueprint for it.
Right.
Which definitely a lot more balanced in that way. They also normalize the Dark Zone so that everyone's relatively around the same.
They normalize the Dark Zone up to level 30, and then you can go into like hardcore Dark Zone.
Yes.
Which is
I-
old Dark Zone, which sounds terrible to me, but very exciting to some people. So they managed
Which
to.
I will beat there in 7,000 XP, by the way, guys, if you want to go do that.
To go to hardcore Dark Zone, I don't want to go do
Yeah,
that.
let's do it. Why not?
We need
Because
more than
I've got like
7,000.
I'm not even level 30. First off. Oh, I
Yeah,
remember
and
this.
I'm excited to hit level 32 because I hear well, they made it so that once you hit level 30, you basically unlock your ultimate class ability.
You have to
which
finish the
is
story
either-
too.
Do you have to finish this story to get your ultimate?
Yeah, Gia reached level 30 and he hasn't gotten his specialization yet.
Damn, okay, well I should probably focus on main missions and not side missions then.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because I was really looking forward to that 50 cal.
No, we
really
all
wanted that
were.
sniper rifle.
We all were, and that's why when Gia told me, I was like, fuck. We have to play through the rest of the story?
Maybe we should just start focusing on story missions then.
Might not be a bad idea.
Obviously, the side missions are beneficial because you get the blueprints for the specific attachments and all that.
Why does it sound like someone's at the airport?
I was
Didn't
pouring a
know?
glass of
I'm
water.
playing at LAX.
Oh, okay. I think that
I
was-
lost my train of thought, so I am just gonna pass this on to whoever wants to go next.
Guys?
Division 1. All right. Well, going to Division 1 after after Destiny. Because Destiny came out the year before, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
2014.
Something like that. And I was deep into Destiny. at the time.
Yeah.
Um,
How long you been sober?
oh man, last time I gave Destiny 2 a shot. Last time I played that was maybe January of 2018. It's been a while.
Mine was September for Forsaken,
Good God.
and that was
It's pretty
quick.
Cool.
Yeah,
So
I spent the money
going
on
to
Forsaken.
Division
Yeah.
after Destiny was pretty cool. I liked everything to do with Division. The one thing that burned me, God, I get burned with games a lot, don't I? Was the first
Not more than
raid
me.
that came out. There was a
On the Divisions?
game-breaking glitch to where yeah, on Division 1. There's a game-breaking
I know
glitch
exactly
where you
which
could
one you're
glitch
talking
behind
about.
the APC. Now, I don't like doing that. For example, to this day, I never glitched Crota in Destiny 1. I know there was a way to glitch Crota. I did not.
Yeah, I fucking hated
so,
Crota. I glitched
Me
that
and my
bitch
buddies
every chance we get.
Exactly. Well, me and my buddies, we had endgame tier items. Now, when the raid came out, we were doing the raid, and we were getting just stomped completely. Because if I remember correctly, the difficulty was off. Like, they messed it up
Yeah,
when they released it.
When the raid first came out for Division 1, it was unbeatable.
Yeah. So we were playing that and everything, and we were having a frustrating time. And the glitch came out that you could glitch behind the APC. We were like, no, we'll just keep trying, and then eventually, after enough times, we just gave up. And we were like, okay, we'll just go do Dark Zone. Well, majority of the players in the Dark Zone kept glitching the APC raid, and they had the freaking best weapons imaginable, and they would repeatedly do that. So the Dark Zone was unplayable. So after that,
Right.
we're just like, you know what? We're going back to Destiny, and never got back on Division 1 after that, even though I really did like Division 1. Division
You guys
2,
wanna
on the
hear a
other
funny
hand...
story?
Sure?
Go ahead, keep going.
Okay. Well, coming to Division 2 now, it seems really well put together. Now, I can't talk about the end game, obviously, because I am not there.
Oh boy.
But all in all, the gameplay feels good. There are glitches, of course, but they're not game-breaking glitches just quite yet. And, yeah, I do like it. I mean, that's pretty much it. I can't really talk more about the endgame stuff until I get there. But all in all, I mean, since it's a looter shooter, the story does not captivate me at all. But the weapons are cool.
Did somebody revive Richard? He's totally dead.
Ooh, I'm on it.
Completely dead.
I feel like the grind to level 30 though, just to get the end game is a little bit more brutal since soloing missions is a fucking pain.
I would agree with that one.
Want to hear a story about when Cody switched teams on us in the Dark Zone and fucking killed us?
Oh my god.
I think we've all done that
I
once
feel
or
about the
twice,
Dark Zone,
right?
Because it has the same
To your
problem
own
to
fucking
me.
friends? To your own family?
It was my own family.
Sometimes
it was my
it
brother and my
happens.
dad.
Fucking Kane over here.
Jesus.
Yeah. We're
Richard,
fucking playing the Dark Zone. He gets pissed off, and he's just like, you know what? Fuck you guys. He's totally better than us. And he fucking comes up, he switches teams in the Dark Zone, fucking kills us, and we have no way of getting our loot back.
you're a real bastard, Cody.
He killed his own
You know?
father?
He killed
Yep.
his own
Except his
father.
And his brother.
Yeah, but I
You
do that a
fucking
lot.
Oh, well, brother, that's perfectly fine, but your
Yeah,
own
we've all
father.
had that inclination to kill our other brothers.
Damn, Cody, I don't even know who you are anymore.
This is before I met you,
Doesn't matter. Your past always comes back.
which means you just don't know me at all.
Oh, I guess I don't.
Okay. All right. So, I'm gonna take the floor on this one. Yeah, I played a lot of Division 1. I liked it. Even kind of after it had fallen out of favor, but there was a good period of time. Like the first month, I played it a lot because anything was better than playing Destiny, and it was like I would rather smoke cigarettes than do heroin. And then I just kind of got tired of it after like the first month, and it took me a while. And then they did like the 1.4 update or whatever, and that was a big, huge thing. And then they just kept going, and then Underground came out, and I checked that out, and I really liked it, and then Survival.
Underground was fun.
Yeah, Underground was a lot of fun. I'm upset that it's, again, in terms of like talking about backsteps, it's not here. It's not included. But there's opportunity because the DC area does have an Underground system, so maybe we'll see it again. But in talking about Division 2, I think Dylan kind of hit the nail on the head. Is like when you looked at the footage from the beta, or if you looked at footage from the beta, you were just kind of like, this just looks like the Division in a different place. And it's one of the games. It's one of the odd times where if you don't play the game, and I guess in some senses both of them, you don't really have comparison because they do look the same, almost identically, but like they play completely differently. And this game has a lot more opportunity for tactics. It requires you to keep on your toes and think smart and play smart. And there's really kind of like no sitting back and just kind of like depending on your abilities to save you. Some abilities are very useful, but nothing's going to out-heal somebody shooting you if you're out of cover.
You might want to talk about the difference in terms of AI difficulty and as well as the armor versus health system.
Right, yeah. So to expand on that, the AI are all incredibly aggressive and I'd say pretty tuned to whether or not they can flank you. And so one of the keys to victory I've found in this game is actually to constantly move. And as a result, it makes it more interesting because the battlefield that you're playing on is always shifting perspectives. So, more of that thinking on your toes and staying on your feet. But the armor system. So yeah, if you notice right now, if you're watching, the armor right above my health, which is the orange line right there, right there at the bottom right. The white line is the armor. Once that goes down, my health starts to go down, and then I die. Armor can be replaced by holding right on the D-pad, but you actually need to take time to pull the armor plate out of your body armor and then replace it with a new one, so you can't just do it on the fly. Not like the Division 1 where you basically just stabbed yourself in the thigh with a needle, and then you were healed. And sometimes even over-healed, I think, depending on your abilities. Again, it's just like... It's one of those instances where they made the game less forgiving, and I think as a result made it better, which is great for me because I'm one of the like fuddy-duddies who's always like, games need to be harder, and now I don't play this game alone because it's too hard.
Can we kind of elaborate a little? Oh, go ahead.
What'd you say, Keaton?
I was gonna. Oh, go
Or
ahead.
what'd you say, Dylan?
No, it's cool. Go ahead.
All right, what'd you say, Keaton, then Dylan?
I was just saying that's funny because everything right now I'm reading is everybody's saying games need to be fucking easier because it's secure, but they need to have a difficulty.
No.
Stupid. I know.
Fuck off.
Stupid.
I mean, we could talk about that in a moment. That's kind of been in the news. Somebody mentioned some shit about Sekiro needs an easy mode to respect its fucking players.
Ridiculous.
That's the most ridiculous shit. Like, do you have any idea who the fuck you're talking about? But all right, whatever. Let's backburner that. Dylan, what were you saying about the Division?
Oh, I was gonna say, can we talk a little bit about how the skill power works?
Or doesn't work?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
pretty much.
So in the vein of game-breaking glitches, this would be one of them. Your skill power, which is a skill that's carried over from the first game, just increases the damage that your skills do to enemies. And also needs to be a certain level for you to unlock certain perks on high-level weaponry and armor. It doesn't apply. Like, you can get it up to unlock those perks, but it doesn't actually boost the damage of your perks, or of your abilities, which means that in higher level play, I imagine perks become less and less useful. I don't know, I haven't gotten there.
No, actually the skill power items become a lot more abundant as you get higher up.
But it doesn't apply. The skill power thing doesn't apply.
Not so much. It doesn't, like, obviously it doesn't change your cooldown and all that like it did in the first one, but it does give you the ability to use mods on your skills. So, like, or my grenade launcher, instead of it being one shell for the cooldown, I have 3 shells that I can shoot, and then it cools down.
Right, but that's
the count of 1.
Sorry to cut you off. Yeah, no, that's 100% true. But that's a secondary benefit. The skill power thing is supposed to increase skill damage, isn't it? like the stat itself. Is that first off? Let me be honest. I'm not 100% clear on this. Does anybody know the actual like information related to what's going on with the skill power glitch? Because there is something wrong with it.
I don't know. I do
I
not
mean,
know.
I've been slightly paying attention to, you know, damage, duration, radius, all that for my skills, but I haven't looked too much into it. But then again, I'm not at end game, so I'm not paying too much mind to it because literally every time I level up, I find new armor and swap it out.
Yeah, I think we're that is a kind of a point that we have to kind of concede on, is that
It's
none of
still
us have
something while
reached
you
the end
level
game.
up, because it's something that still is applied.
I mean, yeah, you get bonuses for it based on the stuff you pick up, so
Right.
it's not completely useless.
Well, I've
It's
been
just
like
not
trying to
working
pay
100%.
attention to it because that's something I'm curious about. Because like the abilities are fairly fun, at least some of them, you know. They're changing the way, but like if they don't scale or if they don't end up making a big enough impact, that's like almost,
That's half
I
the
don't
game.
know, like a third of the
A
combat
third of the
loop
game,
gone.
yeah, a third of the combat loop, right? Which is
But,
why I
like,
was
from
bringing
what
it
I've
up.
seen, even like at least from what I've seen, it was a little old. I couldn't see anything too recent on it, but it even looked like even Ubisoft was like, "We're working on it. We don't know why this is happening."
Right. That's
But,
and
like,
I
it
think that's
seems
the
like
last
it
thing I
still
heard.
is
So
above,
something's
that
wrong
it's
with
not
it.
scaling damage or anything, but
All right.
I mean, you still are able to like unlock thresholds for mods and everything, which are still like those right away are just big upgrades to any build.
I'm done on the Division for me. So Richard, since you're talking about it, go ahead. Tell us what you think about it.
Oh, I mean, I'm fucking definitely enjoying it. You give me a loot game and you give me stuff to chase after, I'm gonna enjoy it. But what kind of saddens me is that a big group of this game is like PvP, and it's not that PvP is a bad thing in my eyes. It's just that it's a loot-based game, and as soon as you try to have like anything slightly competitive, it kind of like goes out the window. Considering someone could just get a better drop than you, and all of a sudden they have the upper hand.
I mean,
But I didn't even think about the fact that they dumbed down the mod system for weapons, being like a PvP balance, but that's totally what it is. But it also just makes it like the mod's super uninspired feeling. I'm just honestly equipping like an ACOG on everything and then something to increase my stability and then something else to just counteract it, so then the weapon all feels the same.
yeah, if I was going to be honest, just to add to what you were saying, there's people behind us too. There's a person behind us. Just to add to what you're saying, I like the mod system because of how simplified it is. Usually I wouldn't say that, but I do. But I'm not in love with the pluses and minuses of using each mod. I know that there needs to be some sort of, you know, plus and minus for using one mod over another, but some of them just flat out don't make very much sense to me. But yeah, I think that was it. Go on. Sorry.
Oh, I mean, regardless of the fact like if it gives you minuses, I guess that makes sense.
Right.
In like a loot game, where instead of the game being more about like skill shots and well-placed things, about like whether or not you have the right loot to go after something. So it's just weird to feeling in a game that kind of like is trying to do both, but it's not quite there.
I would argue that like they have taken steps both with changes to the mod system to the weapons and to the Dark Zone, that they have taken steps to make the PvP grind and the PvP fighting and the PvE grind not interfere with each other, which is better than any other game that's done that before.
Normalized up to level 30?
No. It's
it
normalized
only
at level 32. You can choose, is what I'm saying. Once you get to level 30, you can do normalized or hardcore.
Because I was like, then like, you know, the grind up to level 30 is kind of eh. But I mean, if it's still normalized, that makes it a little bit better, because then it just comes down to whether or not you're playing a little bit better, I guess.
Sure, I think that's the idea.
Weird. It's just weird though with like loot-based games.
I mean, I think I agree with what you're saying, because I've seen how it becomes a problem in loot-based games. PvP interfering with PvE, the two games not being balanced, or the two game modes being balanced at the same time instead of separately. But it seems like they're taking steps to fix it, is all I'm saying. Trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, which I usually don't do. And I wouldn't do generally, but this game is actually kind of good, and it looks like they tried.
We've been burned way too many times recently. So.
Yeah, and yet we still
Especially
keep spending that
recently.
money. Yeah. I'm
No
confused.
regrets on Metro Exodus though.
No, I'm
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
liking it. I really like
So
some of
underrated.
these the higher end tier weapons now that I'm getting those. I'm kind of liking how they have special perks that are only attributed to them and how they're actually changing the way I play.
Yeah, that's something I like a lot. Is that
I
it
can
for
give
your?
a good example of that.
Go ahead.
Um,
Push your goddamn
so
button.
far, I've found it only on this one gun, but you know, if it's blue or higher, it'll have some kind of special perk. But this one was an AK-47, and the first half of the clip shot 25% faster, but did 20% less damage. The second half shot 25% slower, but did 20% more damage. And that I thought was, you know, a very interesting concept. And you know, at first you're like, what's the point of that? And I found myself asking that question, and then I started using it, and I was like, oh, okay. So as you're killing, you know, enemies, it's very good for switching between, you know, the closest enemy to farther
Oh,
out.
stupid.
Obviously, as you're shooting.
Right. Oh,
and
okay.
so
I was gonna say, can
it-
we pause the podcast and find James real quick? Okay.
Wow, that was like, you're hella stupid. There's just
Yeah.
a yellow thing right there that says,
Yeah.
jump here. Continue. James is the only
Yeah,
one
no,
actually
I found that ability quite interesting. You know, I haven't found a gun that does something similar to that yet. That I've been like, oh my god, this is very interesting, very weird concept, but I'll try it. But it seems like in this game, there's a positive and a negative to pretty much everything you're doing, with it being a gun, an attachment, or whatever. So it seems the abilities kind of seem to be the same way, which are good. It makes it a little bit more interesting to see what builds kind of come out.
Yeah, that's what I was
I
actually
mean-
going to say. I bitched about the mods and the things that I don't like about them, but the truth is that I think when you go like the Skyrim approach, where everybody can do everything, it just makes it so nobody becomes any kind of defined thing, you know? And so I think having the ability, or I guess the need for specialization based on the equipment you have, makes for better gameplay. I certainly appreciate it, at least.
Yeah, I think that's about all I got though. Unless anyone wants to add on if they found anything special.
Keaton?
Fuck yeah, dude.
I haven't really got to play much second one.
Fuck.
Because every time I get on, either no one's on or they're already.
We're already grouped up. Yeah, that's a pain in the
Yeah,
ass.
and playing by myself.
Or we
is
have to wait a
actually
couple hours for you to
really
get on.
challenging,
So-
and it's also kind of boring. So I don't really play it when nobody's.
Yeah, that's something we haven't really talked about. The story's atrocious.
Yeah, I skip every cutscene.
I mean, who plays
the
looter
story was bad
shooters
the
for
first
the
one.
story?
Anybody, every
Yeah,
fucking
or
Borderlands
Destiny and
fan.
Anthem had like
Yeah.
fantasy
Okay.
type theme.
At
This
least
is,
then,
like,
at least
based
it
in
doesn't have to be like,
reality and-
you know, compelling, but at least it's fun and interesting.
It's true. I
All
forgot
this
about
is like, hey,
Borderlands.
that person needs your help. Go help them. And then it's like, hi there, thank you. Sorry to
Yeah,
trouble you.
Skill Up, who did a
You
really good review. Sorry to cut you off, my bad. You go ahead. You go ahead.
go off, I guess.
Skill Up, who did a really great review of the game, and I mean, extremely positive one at that. He said that I forgot what he said. Actually, I literally lost my train of thought because I was laughing
Awesome.
at that joke. Yeah, my bad. Sorry. Shit happens, man. Go on, Richard.
No,
Take it
I
away,
actually
Richard.
finished that part. That was the best part. I don't have to be
Um,
an asshole for being an asshole's sake.
You guys
my
still have a
God.
full squad?
yeah.
Oh,
I'm
would
willing
you
to
like me to
back
leave?
out, Dylan, if you want to play.
Okay.
And then they can
That's
do
cool.
3 and I can do 1 with you.
Are we?
That's
How many
cool.
of them are? Well, can't we just do 3 and 3? And there's 6 of us. Oh no, Keaton's not
Oh,
on.
because Keaton's not playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, are we? Oh God, are we covered with the division? I think our
think-
opinions are
I think so.
known.
I think we've given it a decent wrap.
Fair shake.
Okay, cool. So, this next segment, this show is extremely long because of how many of us there are. We're gonna shorten this one by just doing the top news story of the week, because usually I was planning on doing the top 3, but let's round this shit out. I think we've been doing a good job here, you guys. So I'm on my phone. I'm gonna figure
Thanks,
out
boss.
what our topic is. You guys vamp for me for a second.
Did you say
Yeah.
fat for him?
Vamp. It means, blow some time. Distract the audience while I do something.
Sometime, not blow him.
I have a story. I have a pretty funny story of work.
Tell the funny
the
story.
other day at work, right? I'm working in, I believe, it's called Silver Lake, which is
Ew.
pretty much Hollywood. And I'm working
Hipster
on
nation.
this. Well, yeah, they're very liberal up there. But anyways, working on this pair of producers, husband and wife, but they're producers. They make films. I'm working on the windows in their house, and we do some good work. And by the end of the day, well, let me backtrack. We're doing good work. It starts pouring. The homeowners don't want us to stop, but our shop is telling us like, yo, it's your call because it's unsafe to be on a fucking metal ladder 2 stories high when the ladder's leaning against the fucking wall of the building. But we decided to stay and get the job done because it was inconvenient for us to go back the next day. So it's whatever. And then we complete the job. And the wife is looking at the work we did, and the husband the whole time, he was super cool. He kept offering us like waters. At the end of the day, he offered us whiskey. That was cool. But she's looking over the work at the end of the day, and she flips out because she doesn't like the locks we use. The locks she wanted is physically impossible to put on these windows, and she loses it. Like, she starts yelling and shit, and not only at us, but at her husband. And she starts calling the shop, and her husband is looking at us the entire time, me and my coworker, and he's mouthing the words, "I'm so sorry. I am so sorry," to us the entire time she's on the phone with the shop complaining about our work. And then at the end of the day, they sign the papers and pay for everything because there's no fucking way to put on that lock, lady. And he walks out to the car with the truck while we're loading up and about to head out, and he's just like, "So I'm so sorry, you guys," and gives us each a $20 tip. He's like, "Here, this is for dealing with my wife."
Jesus. You should have given it back and been like, you need it more than we do.
No, he needs a divorce.
Exactly, he's gonna need it.
Yeah. Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
All right, so
yeah, that
thank
was
you.
funny.
Thank you
Sheds
for
his
covering
assets
for
now.
me.
She doesn't get
You're
anything.
welcome. I got stories for days, man.
Awesome.
You know that.
Well, you're gonna be the vamper from now on, since nobody else knows what that means. I got the first story.
Someone say
I got the first
From
story
now on.
for us,
Congrats.
and it actually goes pretty much exactly in line with what we were talking about as I changed the subject. Anyway, the Borderlands 3 announcement
Ooh.
is the top story of the week. How do you guys feel about it?
God,
Hopeful.
finally.
Okay,
Correct as all hell.
right. But you're
Careful.
a huge fan of Borderlands. Keaton, how do you feel about the Borderlands 3 trailer? You loved Borderlands, right?
Oh, he doesn't care for it at all. He hates it. I ruined it for him.
What'd you
I
say?
enjoyed the first one when I played it when it first came out. I only played it by myself. I played it to like level 25. I had fun with it. I had a little fun with 2 when it first came out. Like when the Handsome Collection came out, I played it with all y'all. Well, you, Richard, David, Dylan, and freaking Dante, and like.
Dylan's the key word there. Make sure you remember that one.
Yeah.
Not you, Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Richard brought me to an area and made me sit there for like an hour and a half and just kept killing these same fucking creatures, and he ruined the game for me.
Yeah, well, playing with Richard is just ruining the game in general.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't care about Borderlands when they came out, like the lore and shit. Like, yeah, they were fun, funny, or whatever, and like I just played them because they were loot shooters.
Right.
Like I was really big into Diablo when that came out. I was like, oh, here's one about guns. That sounds fucking awesome. And it's cartoony and fun, and just not for kids, you know. I was like, okay. I don't know. The third one looks pretty cool. I was more tell
All that for the third one looks pretty cool.
It does. I don't really know what's going on in that trailer. I don't know who these people are. So I
Why
can't
would
really
you
tell.
know? That's giving away the story.
The bad guys in it.
Fucking
That chick and
trailer.
that dude, they look pretty.
Richard, could you withhold your
cool.
fanboy bullshit for a second, please?
Yeah, the bad guy and the girl from the trailer, they look pretty creepy and cool. I don't know much about them. I don't know. They kind of look menacing. Tales from Borderlands really what got me into the whole fucking thing about Borderlands. That was a big game.
I still haven't finished it, but you know that.
I'm definitely interested.
Anybody else? Before Richard
well,
goes on
I
a
mean-
fucking tirade?
I mean,
The
I'm picking
villains-
up. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Cody.
Oh, okay.
You're better than me.
All
on
right.
this. 'Cause I'm just gonna talk shit.
I haven't watched the story trailer for it. I just watched the very brief.
Developer trailer?
Yeah, I watched the announcement and then I watched the trailer that came out like the next day.
Okay.
I haven't looked at anything for the story or for the playable characters, but gonna backtrack a little bit. Borderlands 1, remake, awesome.
I'm excited
Gonna
about
be
that.
buying that day one. It's nice that it's only gonna be $30. And obviously they changed up a little bit of stuff, added some stuff. Back on to number 3. Definitely gonna be a pickup day one. I'm hoping it's not a letdown like, every other fucking game company right now, but Gearbox doesn't tend to disappoint too often.
Colonial Marine.
Except for all of their price gouging DLC.
There are other titles besides Borderlands.
And the price gouging DLC for Borderlands, but people forgive that because they love Borderlands so much, which is unacceptable to me, but that's neither here nor there.
You just don't like Borderlands.
I don't not like Borderlands. I don't like the business practices of the parent company of Borderlands, and I feel that that is constantly overlooked in the conversation about Borderlands, which is kind of important.
All right. Anyways,
Randy
James, go
Pitchford is a
ahead.
cunt.
So he's actually in an investigation right now, by the way.
I'm not
Randy
surprised. For being a
Pitchford.
cunt?
Whoa.
He's gonna get fucking... He's gonna be
Child
convicted.
pornography.
Oh, dear
Oh
lord.
my god.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. That's
That
a
must be
discussion
why we
in
haven't
this.
been hearing from him a lot, right? Is that what that's about?
You're just like, hey guys,
Maybe.
we got this new game. Don't look at our developer, please.
He was at PAX. and he's the
Backdoor
one that
looking
announced
motherfucker.
Borderlands 3.
Okay, see, because I thought I
It's
just
just
haven't
an
been hearing from him.
investigation.
Just
No, he was
maybe.
him and
It's just child
some
porn,
of-
guys.
Hold on, wait.
him and
You-
the lawyer that used to work for Gearbox, they're suing each other. And the lawyer is stating that he had a USB stick full of porn. And apparently it was child porn. But
Is this the Subway guy?
Randy Pitchford went out and tried to defend himself by saying, no. I had regular porn on that USB stick, and I just, I kept that places, and I ended up leaving it somewhere.
My child
like,
porn was
hey,
on
man.
another drive.
Yeah, that one's around my neck. Okay.
Yeah.
So this sounds more like a civil suit based on libel or something like that, not an actual like
Something
true
weird,
blue
yeah.
investigation.
Oh,
like-
also, that Randy Pitchford fucking took money from the thing to give himself like a $15 million bonus.
Right, that's what I meant when I said he was a cunt.
That's
but
a
now,
company CEO, like, through and through, so...
right, now he might be a child fucking cunt, and that's not okay. Anyway,
So if I could get back to Borderlands 3 here.
please do. I think we've gone in the wrong
once
direction
again.
with this one.
Yeah, I should never have said that. But anyways,
regret
from the reveal trailer for Borderlands 3, 3.5 minute long one, I thought it was really cool. They built the hype and everything like that, as they always do. I mean, with their joking humor with the title. But also seeing some old characters return, Maya and Lilith, of course the Sirens.
Rick.
So,
Zero.
oh, Brick, yeah, playing the
Pretty much everybody's
saxophone.
returned.
Yeah.
Was Zero in it? I didn't catch him.
Besides
He
Rowan.
was, so the guy from the Tales of the Borderlands, you remember him? Or just the guy with the mustache that held up the vault symbol? He's standing next to him.
Why can't I get this
Yeah,
door
oh.
open?
Today I learned. But going back to it, the villains.
What the fuck?
In,
Sorry.
the villains in Borderlands 3 looks like me in 8th grade, like that dude. Looks like me in 8th grade
Yeah,
with the whole
they're
emo
definitely
hairdo and everything.
full edgelord
Yeah.
Sonic fans.
So
Shadow
that's
fans, sorry.
interesting.
But I mean, you could say the same thing about Handsome Jack.
Handsome
Wasn't
Jack was
Simple Jack?
handsome.
He wasn't all that
Charismatic.
menacing. Charismatic,
True.
No, but he was
hilarious as hell. But
He was menacing if you've seen American Psycho.
Yeah.
Nobody's seen American Psycho? Just dead silence.
A long time ago.
I mean,
He was that
what
type of
more did you want
crazy.
me to add? Like, yes, he is Christian Bale. Like, I mean,
Okay. Are you guys in a mission?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
So-
never mind.
You were like, you want to switch to Siege?
No. I just might need help. No
Oh.
biggie.
I'm
Just
willing
cry
to
myself
help.
to sleep. Hurry
Let
up
me
then.
let me finish this mission.
Oh, motherfucker.
Okay,
'Cause I haven't
so
done this
here.
mission.
So we're all pretty pumped. I think, to give my opinion, I've never been a huge fan of Borderlands. I'm one of the few. And I liked the first one a lot. Playing as Brick was awesome. I didn't like the second one's characters nearly as much. And so, except for Gage was motherfucking the best.
Yes.
But
Krieg was cool too.
I never played as him. But
he's your kind of character if you like Brick.
Pre-sequel, the characters were horrible.
Athena's the best
pre-sequel was
goddamn
horrible.
character.
Yeah, I didn't
Right.
like that one. What was his name? Wolf? I don't know, something. He had these two little drones that circled him.
Well,
Yeah.
he's like
Maybe
the
one of the
shittiest
drones
character.
was
That's
Wilhelm.
Yeah, Wilhelm. I hated it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only cool one out
He
of
was
all of
just
them
on
was
the-
Athena.
It's like Athena's the best one.
Who was?
Him and Claptrap. Athena and
God.
Claptrap were the only two good ones.
Yeah.
Claptrap because of his gimmick and he was just goofy.
Yeah.
But Athena was like actually interesting because she was about maybe being like a supportive tank, or you could go full DPS with an elemental build, and elemental builds are always fun.
Everyone else
just
was
felt really
kind of
boring.
either reskinned or just not that great.
yeah, I wasn't crazy about pre-sequel. I played it like I was super fucking stoned the night I played it, and I got stuck on those jump pads, and I was like, I'm not doing this game.
I also didn't like the zero gravity. It just, I don't know.
It was interesting, but not in a great way. It was different and not in
Stomping
the
was kinda
the
stupid.
productive way.
That being said, my feelings about Borderlands being stated. I mean, obviously I want it to be a good game, right? And I think it might be great to the people that love it. It might still be lacking to me. But it, regardless, that's still good for the majority of people.
I think
so.
it'll be consistent with what the main games have been.
Right, and that might just not be enough for me. I'm accepting that, but I'm saying it'll still be probably an excellent game for most people, fans especially. So that's my opinion on it. Keaton, James, Dylan, anybody else who's seen it and wants to chime in?
Seen what? Sorry.
The trailer to Borderlands 3.
Oh, yeah. I'm not really a big fan of Borderlands. I played it a little bit with Cody, and I don't know. Sorry,
No, I mean,
I
I'm
like
kind of in the
shooter
same
games,
boat.
that's
I
really
agree
it.
with you.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem cool to me.
Yeah, it had
I'm
its
not-
moments for
I'm
me.
not excited, but I'll check
Yeah.
it out because
I'd rather play Rainbow Six Siege for the 300,000th time.
Or just more
They're almost
Division.
two different, like,
And get
they're
team
almost two
killed
different
by
games
a 12-year-old.
entirely.
I hope they
Yeah,
change
exactly.
the formula.
Okay, so that-
If they did that, I might like it a lot more.
What? If they did what?
Just change the music system the way it feels, because that was the main problem I had with Battleborn. Because like Battleborn is supposed to be a competitive multiplayer type thing. Like when you have Borderlands movement system and like competitive type thing, I hate it. It feels like you're jumping, walking on air.
Yeah, I have no doubt that that'll
And
probably
you get
be
tripped
improved.
Up on everything.
I mean, even in the trailer themselves, they show them sliding and grappling. So
Yeah,
I'm just assuming it'll feel a little bit more like maybe even close.
feel a
Not
little
close,
more
'cause
fluid.
I think Respawn still fucking nails it, but it'll feel somewhat similar to what Apex does at the moment.
That would
Well, if it does that, then I might really like it.
It's not going to be as tight, and let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's still Gearbox.
You said it, Richard. It's not me. Anyway,
No, I'm saying it's going to be going for the same feel, but let's not go with quality.
thank you. Anyway, are we all our opinions on the top story pretty much wrapped? There's more stuff that happened this week, but really not that much that was really that important. That was like the big thing is Borderlands, hands down. EA fired a bunch of people, but EA gonna be EA. If it costs them less money to fire people than it does to actually be a good company, they'll do that. And then there was some other stuff. Can we go on to Siege Watch and then wrap this shit up?
Yes.
Siege Watch 2019. So who's taking part in Siege Watch? I'll do it. Cody, you've not been on Siege much this season.
I mean, doesn't mean I haven't been up to date with Siege.
Right. And then
And I
Dylan,
also
you're grandfathered in because you play it like every day.
Third day.
Pretty much, yeah.
I've also just been addicted to Division 2.
Right.
If
Yeah,
you guys are in a full squad on Siege, I'll just solo play Division. So
We're never in a full squad on Siege.
Yeah.
that's true.
Oh shit, I'm on the wrong side. No, Raul, go over by them.
Oh god.
Fuck. Yeah,
So
he was gonna blow out the fucking
Siege
ceiling,
Watch.
and then-
Oh god, I can't see. Oh shit. Siege Watch is where we cover what's going on in Rainbow Six Siege because it's a game that we still play even though it's like hella old now. So this is the new season. I've been doing great. I feel like the last update that they had made the game play a lot smoother in some way that I can't really like quantify, but I can tell you that it feels like it is smoother anecdotally. And I feel like that's been nice. There's new characters, Gridlock, Mozzie. I don't know. I'm excited for this year. Although I've already decided that I will not be buying the season pass. I'm gonna be scrubbing it the entire time, just to
If you'd
save
like
myself
to
the
donate to
$30.
podcast, so
Yeah.
he can.
If anybody
buy
wants
his
to
fucking
change
season
that,
pass.
hit me up for my PayPal information. What are you guys thinking about Rainbow Six Siege this season?
Definitely interesting character designs.
Are you saying that because
At least
Gridlock
so
is
far
fat?
No, I'm talking ability wise.
Oh, okay, all right.
She's thick.
No,
She's fat.
She's more than
Curvy.
thick. No.
I think she, even if Gridlock were a person, she would be totally accepting if you just called her fat.
Yeah, but she might ask to speak to your manager.
She doesn't strike me as the type. But let's move on before we get, before we get classier with our jokes.
Before you get banned from iTunes.
Yeah, no, definitely having an anti-roamer for an attacker, I think is pretty interesting.
Well, let's elucidate on this a little bit. Gridlock and Mozzie. Mozzie can steal. Mozzie's a Demender. He's a Dementor. He's a defender, and he steals people's drones by placing this little spider bot that basically takes over them like some sort of horrible wasp creature. It's quite terrifying and extremely useful. But what Cody is talking about is Gridlock. Gridlock is the anti-roaming attacker who has the best weapon combo with weapon and attachment combo, and throws down spikes that do incredible damage extremely quickly, and just will fuck up. And it's basically, so you don't want to get snuck up on. And she's extremely effective. And whenever I'm playing as a defender and I see those spikes, I just kind of curse under my breath and think that the game is lost.
Is she 2 armor, 2 speed?
She's
No.
3 armor, 1 speed.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know if that's armor though.
Nice. Nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Only the classiest jokes here on the Wholesome Hoodlum
I mean,
live
I'm-
podcast.
I'm still really into Siege, and I still really enjoy what it is, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking up from the outside right now because I haven't played in a while.
Well, you had that thing last season where you were having
how does the meta
serious
kind of
lag.
change though? Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened.
Well, there's also been updates. You know, every season we've got, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, like, how has the meta changed to like? I mean, since she's also an anti-roamer like Jackal, but she seems to be a lot more like a lot less. You have to be on the point, on the ball with it. You can just fucking like. set
Yeah,
it,
she's
forget
more
it.
of a passive anti-roamer, if you were going to classify. You guys want to take this one? I haven't really actually thought about how the meta has changed because I've just been playing as
She
Blitz
seems
and
way
Jaeger.
less engaged, so I'm wondering if it, like, you know, roamers have been something to really not worry about anymore.
I don't know.
No, Cavi is still terrifying.
That won't change. She's just
I think
more-
the update that they did for her kind of made it even worse, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, they buffed her and everybody was bitching.
Yeah, no,
she
I
kinda
feel like
sucks.
it's. I feel no, I feel like it's overpowered now.
But
That pistol was
It does
Yeah, it
crazy
does lots of
damage and
damage.
continues to do
But
damage out at range now.
the
So like she
the
can
range
fight.
on it is way too crazy.
I think you don't like getting killed by Cavi.
But nobody
That
likes
one
to be
sounds-
killed by
mean-
Cavi. Nobody likes to be killed at all.
So annoying.
But I mean, they need to. I don't know why they took away Ash's ACOG.
Ugh.
They did
Well,
what?
they only took away Ash's ACOG for one gun.
Okay,
Yeah, but the best gun. Who runs Ash with a fucking G?
A fucking idiot does, but now people who want an ACOG do. You see, like they're doing that for ballads.
They really did that? Why
Yeah.
not just give her
Get
a
rid of the gun.
hitbox like she's supposed
Why
to
don't
have?
Why don't you just give her a shotgun instead?
No.
I mean, she is.
That would be
No.
fucking terrible, Dylan. What are you talking about? I'm gonna
You know how
die.
terrifying Cav is running around with a sausage in her hands?
She's got the
Imagine
Spaz
fucking
15 or
Ash reaching
something.
with an M10.
We down over here.
Everyone's down by Cody.
Oh, that's awkward.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, no, Ash with a shotgun is a terrible idea. I don't like. I love you, Dylan, but no, please God, no.
Wait, why'd they get rid of her ACOG? That's so hilarious.
To push people to use her G36 more. I mean, that's the only
no,
answer.
it's just to make people have to rush with her even more. Fuck it. That's pretty sad. They could have just given her a hitbox.
Yeah, maybe that would
They
have been
could
nice.
have.
Yeah, she still kills
Giving her
just
a
as
hand
much
hitbox?
as she's still picked all the time. If you were asking about the meta, she's still picked.
Oh, no, I know she's
Frequently.
picked, but that's just because of what she does is so unique and so like hard to fill for that you can't.
I mean, are there any other three
there's-
speeds on the attacking team that are as effective as she is?
No.
Not
She's the
really.
most
I mean,
effective attacker.
if you're running her and Blitz, I think that's a pretty common meta for sure.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But Blitz is
I mostly
Bay.
meant like
Blitz is
for
life.
defending, like so like you know.
So, I made the full
How has
switch.
Mozzie changed anything? Not at
He,
all.
yo, you know what? You know what Mozzie does, and this is what I love. He fucking just fucks Twitch in the ass, and I can't stand Twitch, so I'm happy for that. Anytime
Hey,
where I
man.
don't have to worry about that goddamn drone buzzing me
He-
for that 10
He
damage.
kind of my Bay.
I get her, I get it, but like she's been overpowered since the beginning of the game, and all they did was adjust her skill, which is nice. Her skill's in a great place, but that gun is fucking brutal. I never have any confidence that I could beat her, regardless of whether or not I get the first shot.
That's true. That gun is pretty overpowered, and I abuse the hell out of it.
Right, and
But
to the point, I'm not that great at abusing it, so that's why I don't like her.
but at the
Oh.
same time, like if you can't get hits on target, it's fucking horrible.
Guys,
It's like
could
that
use
for
some help
every
out
game.
on
Yeah,
the
I see
street?
you. I see him. I see him.
Thank you.
Yeah, no. So Mozzie basically just disrupts shit, and then if he doesn't do that, then you get a drone that he can use to actually spot attackers and drive around like an annoying fucking attacker, while they're trying to get into position for their, you know.
But it's kind of rough
strat.
too, because like the reason why that's so nice for an attacker is because they can be out of the point and they're safe. So as Mozzie, I feel like it's kind of sketchy to be rolling around in the drone a lot.
I mean, I guess that is the drawback, but he also has a
Yeah,
really
unless you're
good.
on point and you know they're not near you yet.
But
still.
in classic Rainbow Six fashion, his ability is, kind of good, kind of bad. His weapon set is phenomenal.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen me with that little sidearm shotgun. You've seen me fucking wipe out teams of
Like,
people
yeah,
with it.
3,
It's
4 people at a
fantastic.
time. It's hilarious.
It is. And then the reload animation for his 9mm M4 is hilarious. He just flicks the magazine.
Yeah, they're getting fancier and fancier.
They are. They are. I mean, he's Australian. He's got to have a little bit of finesse, you know?
I mean, I suppose so.
No.
What do you know about Australians, man? They're fucking barbarians with accents.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
If there's any Australians watching, I love you guys. Please don't hurt me.
If anything,
Have you
he should,
never-
like, punch the gun and the mag falls out and then the new one goes in. No other action
Because
happens.
it's too scared. The gun loads itself.
no, they fucking jump on the crocodile and the gun reloads.
There you go. That's a good one.
So, before we go on talking about Australians and how crazy they are,
Right.
I could tell you about some of their anti-theft measures on their vehicles, but I won't get into that. Can we talk about that map?
Oh, dude.
Fucking
Good,
garbage.
good
God.
point.
Thank you. It's the worst fucking map they have ever done.
I'm
Worse
still
than
getting used
Favela?
to it. Fuck you.
Way
Favela's
worse.
amazing.
Worse than Violent University?
Yes.
I like that one too. I don't know why.
I
people
love
don't like
that one. I wish they would do one season of all the maps being in rotation.
I do too. I miss fucking Plane. Air Force
Plane.
One.
Dude, I miss
Oh, oh.
Yacht.
House.
Fuck Yacht. Yacht is the worst map in the game.
Yacht is the fucking best.
Yacht is-
especially
it's
now
the
with
worst map.
Maverick. Especially now with Maverick because almost all of the walls in that
Map.
I was gonna say mission, and that doesn't make sense. That map are all metal. Having Maverick on that map would be a fucking game changer.
I tried. Richard.
What other maps did we miss that we haven't seen in quite a while besides Favela, obviously?
So you guys don't like
Original
Favela?
Airport Base.
I love Favela.
I do.
I think
I
Favela's
fucking love
amazing.
that shit.
I think it's one of the best maps they've ever made, but most people hate it. It does need reworks in some respect, but it also is just. So
But every
nice.
time they rework something, it's just so horrible.
Yeah, I miss the old Hereford base.
Yeah, I feel like they should have made two separate maps in that sense.
Rather than update it, just release like a V2, but still have V1 in there.
Yeah.
Or they could just have another training ground. It could just be a different base. It's basically a different building. So for anybody who
that-
doesn't know, Hereford base was like I think like the map, like the very first, like, you know, map that you probably play
Yeah.
on in Rainbow Six.
It is the first
That or
intro
play.
map.
Yeah, and it's like a base that you know with like, you know, targets and shit. It's a training ground, and they updated it in year 3, and it's just a fucking completely new map, and it's kind of atrocious, to be honest. I hate the map now. That and Yacht are my least
Oh my
favorites.
God.
But the new map. Let's talk
Yeah,
about
I-
Outback or whatever the fuck it's called, right?
Steakhouse.
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 Same joke.
So you guys don't like it?
Not a
Blooming
fan.
onions.
I want to
I
like
mean-
it. I really do want to like it because it makes
there's-
sense, but it doesn't.
There's too many windows that you can peek from. Like if fucking if Bandit and Jaeger still had their ACOG, like that map would just be ridiculous.
Now it's just Doc and Rook fucking shooting you.
You know, you are right though. There are a lot of peaks and runouts, like a lot
Yes.
compared to all the other maps. Even like you did it, like on a ranked match yesterday. Like Dylan was
Yeah.
like, "Do it, Cody," and you killed somebody like instantly.
I did it 3 times.
And I mean, look, if you leave that opportunity open, people are going to do it. I run out occasionally, and I only really ever do it when I know I'm going to make a fucking kill. Like, if the opportunity is there, I'm going to take it. But if you design a map like that from the start, it's kind of bad. It's a bad sign. So if I was going to just kind of give my opinion of the map, I'd say that the lower floor is actually quite cool. The upper floor is a fucking nightmare. For no matter if you're defending or attacking. It's one long tube, and like 80% of the walls, 70% of the walls are breakable. So like you could get hit by a bullet not even meant for you.
Yeah, I got killed yesterday by someone shooting at someone, and it went through 2 other rooms and hit me in the head. Insta-killed me. And I had no idea, like, that there was anyone nearby either.
You were pissed, I remember.
I was extremely pissed. I was like, what the fuck? How did that just happen? Like... Obviously it makes sense, you know, a bullet's gonna travel, but it just felt... I was so upset.
Dirty.
It did not feel right, that's for sure.
Yeah, the upstairs part of that map is just one long tube and several narrow, and like, that's the thing, it doesn't get alleviated by going to different parts of the map on the second floor. Every room is a narrow hallway, and it's just a fucking nightmare. But the lower floor I actually don't mind so much. It's a bit more of a maze, it's great for roaming, and terrible for attacking, I guess. So, it's kind of a nightmare map for attackers.
Oh.
Yeah,
But,
definitely. We were
opinion.
fucking them up last night, holding them at the window with Clash too. That was interesting.
Yeah. Oh my God, I got such a good blitz kill or Jaeger kill. Fucking on blitz, like somebody was behind blitz. Blitz jumped through the window. I shot from hip fire, killed the guy outside on the window, and then shot again as I was being flashed, and I killed blitz and just saw the kill feed, and I was like, yeah. Fuck you. Not gonna do what I do.
We all just died, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Looks that way.
It'd be like that.
I'm gonna stem the bleeding, and maybe somebody will execute my bitch ass. So anybody else want to talk more about Siege? I think we kind of... It'll more as more things happen, you know, there'll be more to talk about. But it's still kind of early on in this year.
Oh, we're all down.
They should just make a new one.
Dude, thank you. Thank you.
I mean,
Like, they keep doing all these seasons, just make a new game with new
much
maps,
as
with new
I'd
shit.
like it, I love Siege.
I do. And it's like you don't want to start over.
Okay, so I've been saying this for a while, and Keaton will actually Keaton talks about this every time we get into conversations about Siege because I brought it up a long time ago. But like, I really do think they need a sequel. I know that they said that they want to last. They want this game to last forever. But there are some, like we were talking about with Anthem earlier, there are some things about the game that are kind of messed up down to the bones. And one example is like anybody who's jumping over, or not jumping, mantling over something or coming through a window on a rappel line, I can never win a gunfight. Even though, like, you know where they're going to be, they have to come through the doorway. It's something about the animation changing of them going over something or through the window that leads to 90% of the time me losing the fight. And that can't just be because I'm bad. I refuse to accept that. So, little tiny things like that like kind of get in your way in those clutch moments, they really piss you off, and you think, if this game really took it seriously, they would either fix this, and if they can't, then they need to fix it by making a sequel. That's my opinion. But beyond that, I think what they've got is really good, and I love Siege, like you guys.
Yeah, I agree.
I hate Siege.
But you
Oh
do
my
so
God,
well.
no, you don't. Yeah, you made a living off of Siege once upon a time, buddy.
That's in a past life.
Made a living off of Siege. Is there any applications? I'll get better. I'm pretty good now. Probably not make a
Just
living good.
Gotta get good.
Well,
No, when I played, it was
shit.
on. When I did all that, it was on PC primarily.
oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got anything to say about why can I not get through? Okay, you got anything to say? Anybody else have anything else to say about this season of Siege before we wrap up the show? The show.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Super excited for the next wave of operators because one of them is Peruvian. That is all.
There's new American operators too, aren't there?
I don't care.
Fuck America.
Cool.
Arriba Peru!
What's your? Why do you like Peru so much?
I'm Peruvian.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Pretty cool.
I have a friend that's Peruvian.
Yeah, me.
Just told you.
I have another friend that's Peruvian now. I've got 2 friends that are Peruvian. Okay, well, I think that wraps up Siege Watch 2018, 2019.
Oh my.
Jesus. It's late, you guys.
Oh
I haven't had much to eat today. You guys got anything else to say about games, this podcast, the experiences we've had herein?
You're great, fine people. Thank you.
I do have something I could add.
Yeah, go ahead.
Cody, you go through controllers so much because you gotta stop throwing them, buddy.
Oh my god, no. I have never once thrown a controller.
But you break one a month. Survey says false.
Really?
Are you just trolling him?
I distinctly remember the day I came over to play the new Super Smash Brothers, and you got so
Shut
close
up.
to throwing your controller.
Yeah, those things are tiny,
The
too.
Rex was fucking annoying.
No, he was playing with a Pro controller, so a $70 controller.
That fucking Rex, man, it fucked me up, okay?
Oh yeah.
Cool. Well, if you're done berating Cody for inside
I'll
jokes
never
that
be done
nobody
with
else
that.
understands, I think this means we're done with this podcast for today. This has been episode 0. How do you guys feel?
Lethargic.
I feel great.
I don't think I'm going to get picked up for a second season.
You're fine, but maybe not immediately. It all basically comes down to who's available at the time of. Sundays, 9 o'clock. We started late today because it was our first one, but that's to be
Why
expected.
Sundays, man? I got work tomorrow.
Because
boss
that's
texted
the
me.
day
He's
that
like, oh,
when...
you know that shit I told you to do? Make sure you do your
I don't
work."
care, Richard. Sundays at 9 o'clock.
It's like, hey, by the way, when you get my house...
That's it.
you
That
can
has
drive,
been the
you
Wholesome
gotta put
Hoodlum
trash
live
in there.
Gamecast, brought to you by Wholesome Hoodlum, Twitch, and PlayStation 4 Pro. Sony, give me money. I will see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.
Wow, sucking the dick of a big corporation.
And